When I was in the ER, it was really frightening because I just went in, I called my doctor and I said, I just got rear-ended. It was just a small, it was just a small impact. I don't think that it was a big deal. And they said, you're in your third trimester, you're 29 weeks, you need to go to the ER. It doesn't matter how big or small the jolt was or how much of an impact you think you had, you need to go into the hospital. So my husband and I, we went into the hospital. When we originally checked in, we were told we would be there just for monitoring for about 4 hours. So we went in for about 4 hours, and they came in to do an ultrasound pretty much before we were before we assumed that we would be let to go home, and they found a 4-centimeter placental abruption. And ultimately, at the time, at 29 weeks, my placenta was about 10 centimeters long, and 4 centimeters of it was completely removed. So, and I saw in the ultrasound, and obviously the ultrasound tech is not the person that shares the news. So as I'm watching the monitor, I know that there's something wrong. So I just start crying, and I'm like, crap, Todd, something is wrong. So the doctor came back and explained the abruption and said, you need to prepare to have a baby within the next 24 to 48 hours. And we were just like, oh my gosh, at 29 weeks, she would have been 2 pounds. So she would have spent the next 3 months of her life in the NICU. And my sister gave birth to her son at 30 weeks, and he was 2 pounds and 9 ounces. And I just remember seeing him in the NICU and how tiny he was and how helpless he was, and just, he just needed more time inside. And I was just so scared because I was not ready for that. I was so scared. So anyways, we got monitored and watched for bleeding. They looked for signs of other things like preeclampsia and protein in the urine and high blood pressure. So it was just a 3 days full of just monitoring. And that's during the night too, and during the day. It's every 20 minutes to half an hour. They come in and take more readings. So they sent us home, and I was put on bed rest for the next month, and they said you didn't have any more, obviously I didn't have any more bleeding, and the abruption did not get any, it didn't become any more removed, but I realized that if I don't, stay on bed rest and just be as, still as possible, that I could give birth to her at any time. So at that point, it was every day I really didn't know. Every day I was looking for blood. Every day I would make sure that I could feel her moving. It was just an everyday kind of monitoring and not knowing when is going to be the last day that I'm pregnant. And I did not think, because the doctor told me you will not make it to full term. So she said you'll likely give birth at the very latest around 36 to 37 weeks. So I have been so hugely blessed. I went in for the ultrasound a month after bed rest, and they said that the abruption had healed. And I was shocked. I was like, what do you mean it healed? And they said, well, one of two things either happened. Number one, where the placenta was removed, it either reformed and grew more. So your placenta obviously continues to grow as the baby continues to grow. So the placenta likely continued to grow, and the part that was detached got just reshaped and became part of the new growing placenta. Obviously, the part that is then detached does not do anything, doesn't provide any of the nutrients. It's just a piece that sits there. It's not a piece that contributes to, getting the nutrients to the baby. However, it was no longer a giant tear, and the second reason is that it healed is that it could have potentially clotted, so blood clots to form there and then hold it to the wall. So they did several ultrasounds and they just said, it is a huge miracle because people don't usually heal from this. It's usually an abruption for the rest of your pregnancy and something that continues to be very high risk. But they said after several ultrasounds that we got several opinions too, and they said it is healed. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like how lucky do you get? How lucky do you get? So that was definitely God working on my side, and I just owe huge thanks to the man upstairs for that, because Lacey has been very healthy, very strong this whole time. She has had absolutely no problems. There have been no problems at all, and I'm so thankful for that. She's at the right percentile, she has the right fluid levels, she has the right oxygen levels, her body is at the right weight and mass, her brain function, everything is perfect. All of her organs are the right size. I just feel hugely blessed that she's okay, because, God, sometimes when you watch videos about stillbirth or like babies coming out missing limbs or something, it just really gives you a reality check of how real those things are and how much, how possible it is to have those things happen to your baby. So I'm just hugely, hugely blessed and grateful, not only to be pregnant, but to be pregnant with a very healthy baby. So she's a fighter in there, and can't wait to meet her. I assume, my gut feeling is that I'm going to be late, that I will be past my due date. I think I just have a gut feeling that it'll be a couple weeks before I give birth, so I assume that it'll be around the end of October, or very likely the very beginning of November, although my due date is the 20th. So I guess we will find out. Everything is kind of ready to go. I finished, my husband Todd and I, we finished doing her packing the hospital bag yesterday. I'm not going to be doing a hospital bag video. I think those are, there are already a million out there, so if you want to go check that out, you know, it's not very much that goes in there, and everybody needs the same thing, so I guess I'm a little surprised when people make a what's in my hospital bag, as if there's something revolutionary that everyone else doesn't already have in there. So I'm not going to be making a what's in my hospital bag. It's not that exciting. So that one will not be coming. I do want to talk more about how your body feels. So something that was a huge surprise to me. So when you see women who are super pregnant, they're like waddling, and you're like, oh, I don't think I'll ever look like that. It's really interesting because your back, the sciatic nerve, and in the middle of your back, when everything gets, I guess, to the front portion of your body, not only are your boobs getting bigger and they're much heavier, you now have, you know, all the fluids, the baby, the placenta, you have this huge mass in front of you that is pulling all of your weight forward, and your spine is looking like in the back. It's totally screwed up, and no wonder your back hurts all the time, because your back is taking a lot of heat in the back there, you know, for all of this weight up front. So, and it really kills your balance. You're really off balance when your belly gets big. You start running into things. It gets really hard to. I cannot tie my own shoes. That is, I never thought I would say that, and that sounds ridiculous, but you really just can't reach anymore. And it's like putting a basketball in your lap and then trying to work around that, and trying to do everything that you would usually do. And it's really like that. It's like having a basketball in your shirt. It really is. So like trying to, like get out of bed is impossible. Getting up off the floor is really, really hard. Bending down and getting things off the floor is really difficult. Doing the dishes is really difficult because you're sitting there and you have, like I said, this basketball in front of you, and somehow you need to lean over and do the dishes, so your back is really killing. It's really interesting. I always wondered, looking at other pregnant women, what is it like to have a baby, you know, that big, and to have your body be so big. And I can tell you, it's really trippy to look in the mirror, like just to see your body looking like that. It's still shocking. Even, whether you're naked, when you're naked it looks really crazy. And when you're fully clothed and dressed, it also looks really crazy. You'll like catch yourself in the mirror sometimes when you're like walking through, I don't know, like imagine walking through an aisle of Target or something and you see the long mirrors and you're like, whoa, that's me? Whoa, that's me? I don't know, it's just really, really trippy to see yourself so pregnant. At least it is for me. Even though you expect you'll look like that, it's really crazy to look in the mirror. When your stomach gets really big, you start having pain in weird spots, and it's your stomach muscles that are moving. It's also your guts inside that are getting rearranged. That is a really weird feeling, and obviously your skin is getting tighter, and it's like, what is going to happen here? It's a really strange feeling for your body to be expanding like that. You can literally feel things moving and shifting around, and your guts being in new places. Your appetite becomes smaller because your stomach is smaller and you can't really eat as much, so you may serve yourself larger portions and then you realize, oh geez, I can't even eat all that. So that starts happening, and when your stomach starts stretching, I ended up with a lot of stretch marks. And I asked if there's a way to prevent it by using some type of like oil, like a sesame oil. I bought one of those, and I also bought like Palmer's, shea butter and cocoa butter. I've tried a bunch of things, and my OB said, it really doesn't matter what it is that you put on there. You will either end up with stretch marks because of genetics, or you won't. So I ended up with a lot of stretch marks, and I mean a lot, like over 20. They're all over my stomach, and on the bottom portion is where they started, and now they are starting to grow upwards, like past my belly button. So it's really strange to see my stomach like that, and I wondered how, I don't know, I guess how that would feel, and it feels, sometimes when you wear pants that are too tight and you have indents left in your skin, it feels exactly like that, except for the spots that are the new stretch mark. It's literally where your skin has torn, and it feels like raw skin. So it's really, really painful to have stretch marks, more than I thought. And all the pains of pregnancy you end up getting used to, but they're kind of a surprise when they first come up. Like the back pain, and like the round ligament pain, and your hips. It's just all the different pains. You get used to the pain. It's pretty interesting. But for me, it's like I knew that I expected this. Every time my doctor's nurse asks me, well, how are you feeling? How is your pain right now on a scale of 1 to 10? And I said, well, I asked for this, and I assume that I am in as much pain as I should be. I'm pregnant. I asked for this, so she's like, I wish everybody gave that answer, but that's honestly the only answer that I can think of is I'm in pain, and I'm pregnant. I asked for it, so it is what it is. So you kind of get used to the type of pain. It does become more and more painful the bigger that you get, and the bigger your stomach gets, the more it will put pressure onto your back. So back pain, round ligament pain, and hip pain has been really, really painful for me. But I'm looking for new stretches and just trying to sleep in a really good way that my back will be as much in a line as possible. So I'm trying to make all of these symptoms less difficult, but they really just aren't. Pregnancy is really hard on your body, harder than I thought, and the weight of your body is really surprising. Imagine just carrying like a bag of potatoes or a 30-pound bag of sugar or something around all day. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight, and it really wears on you. So that's been really surprising. One of the greatest parts about my pregnancy was my baby shower, and I got my baby shower. I got off bed rest just in time to have my baby shower, and it was absolutely beautiful. My sister Amy and my friend Lisa, they put it together and they hosted the whole baby shower, and they handmade like all the little decorations, all the balloons. They had a backdrop that was like, and had lace clouds. It was, excuse me, and my sister, she made this bouquet of cupcakes. It looked so realistic and perfect. It was a bouquet of flowers. The cupcakes looked like flowers, and it was so beautiful that people didn't even realize that it was cupcakes, and nobody ate them until everyone's like, what? Oh, that's cupcakes? So, and every little detail, just like every balloon, every hot air balloon, it was perfect. And now afterwards I got to take them and hang them in her room. It's just absolutely perfect. And I've been, just like you guys, I'm sure, I've been to so many baby showers. And after you go to so many baby showers and you shop for other people's babies, every single shower you go to, it's just more and more painful. Like, am I ever going to be able to shop for my own baby? Am I ever going to have my own baby shower? Am I ever, like, you just wonder these things, like, how come everybody and their brother gets to have babies and I don't get to have one baby, Quite the opposite. I try forever for a baby and I lose several babies, due to miscarriage. So these things just rack your brain, and it's really difficult to deal with when you go to other people's baby showers. So it's just something that you kind of have to deal with, but it's really just such an awesome blessing. And it was just, it really filled my heart with joy to be able to be there at my own baby shower. It was just so cool, and I have been waiting so long to have my own baby shower, and finally I did. And Lisa and Amy, they just did such an awesome job with every single detail. It was the most beautiful baby shower that I had ever been to, and it was mine, and I just loved it. So I'm gonna post a video of the collage of like pictures, and like they had a surprise for me when I first walked in the door. They had me come a half an hour before all the guests, just so I could come and look at all the details. And I'm gonna post that on YouTube, because I just loved it, and I don't want to forget that day, because it was just a really cherished day, and I felt so lucky that they put so much thought and care into everything. And now I get to hang all of the decorations in her nursery. So her nursery, it looks beautiful. It's painted, it's decorated. I have just a few more things. I need to put a few more things away. We need to order a few things that we didn't get from the registry. We're just at the very end. We're just finishing organizing and putting all the little things in line together and ready for her birth, and including, making a family call list for, who calls who when it's time. And we're just really getting down to the bare bones and just really preparing for her to be here, and I just can't wait. So I'm gonna try to pump out as many videos as I can this next week. I do have a gut feeling that she's gonna be late though, somewhere, like I said, in late October or early November, but that means she will likely be a bigger baby, so that kind of freaks me out too. I don't want a lot of tearing. I do plan to have as a very natural birth. However, I'm not going in there with solid and set expectations, because I really don't think people know what their pain tolerance is until they are going through the very worst pain of their entire life. So I have prepared myself as much as possible to get through that pain, including types of music, motivational things. I've done a lot of research on what is happening to your body when you're in labor, the different phases, and I hope that my mind can help me get through the pain. However, I am prepared to have an epidural if, for whatever reason, I just can't take the stamina anymore, or I don't have any more stamina, because I'm really worried that if I exhaust myself through the contractions, depending on how long labor is, then I won't have the energy to push her out, and then there will be an emergency, and then I'll have to have a C-section. So it's kind of a catch-22, and because I've had a high-risk pregnancy throughout, and then I was on bed rest for a large portion, and then afterwards I've been playing it really safe, I haven't been going out and exercising, and my stamina is very low, and I'm just really concerned that that might end up in a C-section, like I said, if I wear myself out during the actual contractions. However, I do have a lot of faith in myself, and I do trust that my body can do it, and I do trust that my mind is strong enough that I can deal with the pain. So I'm just gonna plan on feeling it out and seeing, I guess, how things go when the time comes, and not being 100% set on anything, so I am not disappointed in any way with her birth. But obviously what is most important is that she comes out healthy, and that that she is okay. We're giving birth at a hospital that has a level 3 NICU, which is the #1 priority for me. So I just can't wait. I just can't wait. Time is getting shorter, and I'm getting more and more excited, and things are getting more and more organized, and we just can't wait for her to be here. Our little Lacey Nicole. We can't wait to hold her in our arms. It's gonna be the most magical thing. So that's it for now. I appreciate you watching my video. I know this is kind of long. I tried to talk as quickly as possible so it is as short as possible, but it's still likely going to be close to 20 minutes long. So I'm sorry about that. And thank you for watching and caring, and all your well wishes. Please pray for a safe delivery, and I'll check in on my next video. I hope that I can get a bunch of videos out this week, and I will check in with you again after she's here, and let you meet her and see her, and I'm just really excited for it. So that's it for now. I hope everyone is having an awesome, productive day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.